Real quick, I found a workaround. I've actually been using it for some time. In some of my videos, you may have actually seen me use it and just didn't realize it, and I just didn't mention it because I just wanted to see if it would work and it was real. I did go back and look at some of the terms and conditions, and I'm not breaking any terms or conditions at all. So, and I wanted to do that on purpose, just so they won't have an excuse to, oh, you're breaking terms and conditions, we're going to disable your account. They try to use every excuse, like America's Card Room did. They said I threatened, or I don't know, some bull crap, but I clearly shared the email with you guys. I clearly shared everything. And the only reason is they found my videos. They didn't like what I had to say and do. They didn't like what I was showing, and they decided to just block my account or ban me, whatever. But today I was playing. I don't have any experience with this account, so I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like I say, I'm going to tell the truth. And nothing but the truth. Or my truth, should I say. But I haven't had any I don't have any history with this account at all. Except for just playing them today. And I felt that there was some weird things that was going on. And so I decided to just leave myself a note that something possibly could. Again, I like to have a large sample size, so I'm not just bringing and feeding you guys bullcrap, because it's not going to help you, and it's definitely not going to help me. So that's why I make sure I have a large sample size. Just because it happened once, like I say in plenty of videos, just because it happened once, maybe twice, 3 times, that doesn't mean anything. But if it continues to happen and continues to happen in the same manner, then you can start building up some type of rapport. But I'm not saying don't leave notes. But I'm just saying, you start leading to certain conclusions. This particular player, I can't put a finger on it, but it was just the weirdest thing. So what I decided to do is, once I got eliminated in it was bad beat after bad beat. The last 2 hands was bad beat. They hit quads the last hand to take me out. Quads. So whatever. And you might, I'm not sure if I got a screenshot of that message. But whatever. So this particular player is it's Iron Spike 1. Just the fishiest thing. So after I was eliminated, I decided to follow them across every single table. Now you may wonder or be thinking, like, how can you do that? Because once you're eliminated from the tournament or you're off the table, you can't chat. Yes, that is true, but I found a workaround and I have been using it, and it's nothing that breaks the policy. So you can't see their chip stack, but they were about at 32,000 chips. After I started telling people how to, because it was actually only me and this player that was actually playing. All these other players were actually sitting out at this point. But once I was eliminated, they brought a new player in, 2 new players in. And I was helping this first player how to take this Iron Spike 1 out. I was just letting them know how to play them. And they at this point, they stopped playing, which is the weirdest thing. After I'm telling this player how to beat them, they just completely stopped playing. It's like they didn't know how to play anymore. It's weird. Here it's the same thing. They start going into the reconnecting, like they disconnected. Now, get that shit out of here. How was all of a sudden you just disconnect? But I was on a table with you for over 30 minutes and there was none of that. So again, telling them how to beat them. Eventually, here's just if you just pay attention to also the numbers at the top, 4763, you'll see eventually that those starts to change. I had to track them down on 3 different tables. This first table they were on for a little bit, and then eventually It's like that sit out method I used to talk about. But they wasn't sitting now. It was just it's the weirdest thing. I should have recorded so you guys can see it happen in real life, but I mean in live, so you can just see how strange that was. Because as soon as I started helping these other players out, all of a sudden it's disconnect and sitting out. And even before this, their play slowed up like completely. Like they were fast acting, and all of a sudden it's just slow. That's why I started to take screenshots. I already had started messaging other players or chatting in other players, telling them how to beat them. Yeah, so eventually they just sit out for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, at this point, they just completely take them off the table. You can see the numbers change. It's 69974. So I'm still following them. It's like every time they move to another table and I got on and I start typing to help the other players, they would move iron, what's the name of it again? Iron Spike 1 to a different table. So I was just chasing them down all across the tournament, just letting people know what to look out for and how to play that account. And here I'm just telling people, just watch out for these in-house accounts and so forth and so on. So as soon as they get to this table again, they move them. So I have to go find them. So I do find them at another table. You can see it's different. This one is 70372. This one is 72540. So that's just something I've been working on. It's like a little process that allows me to do this. And just be careful, because I can't put I'm not gonna say it if it's in-house or a bot, but I am gonna say that it is something strange about that account, and just keep a lookout for that account. Just the play in general is weird, but then not just the play, it's like the protection of that account. Eventually, now my process that I've actually used it for basically like a whole tournament. But this time, I don't know what happened, but it's like they caught on or something. After they kept moving them, after I kept following, they tried sitting out. None of that worked, but then eventually it's like they just removed me from the chat portion. So eventually, like around this point, I couldn't chat no longer, so I just wound up exiting the tables. But I just wanted to share that with you all.